Cheers to
Salud.
This Is Life. You know, we want to help people helping people. We are all here together. Why not be successful? Why not help each other? Why not be something? And there doesn't have to be so much picking and hating and judging. And this is a free judge zone. I don't judge anybody, and you always welcome in here. So
I judge people all the time.
Well, you know what, dude? Cheers to good friends, great energy, and a live chat room in this podcast. Hey, yo, this is life. Thank you, everyone. Newcomers, oldcomers, friends, family. We love you all. Shout the fuck out. If you're afraid to talk to me or if I am too aggressive for you, go fuck yourself. But if you're not and you're interested in talking, you know, please pick up the phone, holler at me. My own experiences, I left at 16. I moved out when I was 16 years old, people. I had 3 jobs, my own apartment, and I had a baby, and I had things to deal with. My husband will tell you, I am a fighter, I am a strong person, and I am Jess. There's nothing less, and he is Rocky, and he never gives me anything less, and that's what's so important. You know, I am so damn blessed to have you as my partner in crime.
Always good.
We don't need friends, you know why?
Because
we have each other. Cheers on that.
Cheers on that.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're bugging. Well, I guess.
I can't even take that. How is everybody doing? It's Tuesday. I'm feeling good. Anybody else feeling good?
I am.
Well, I don't hear it. I don't hear the excitement.
I'm feeling good.
Listen, all right, so super funny, really quick. I want to tell a story, and I want to ask everybody what they would do in the situation. All right?
Alrighty.
So if there might be a chance that you'd be able to offer one of your friends a free Metro card for anal thumbing,
Oh my God.
would they do it? Would you do it? If someone said, hey, listen, I'm going to give you a Metro card for anal thumbing for the rest of my life, would you take that Metro card? Because if...
I'll do it for a bag of pistachio nuts.
Considering who we're talking about, I might do it for a bag of pistachio nuts too. Just to see the reaction. Would you do it?
I don't know.
Oh my God, you got to say something. You're just so cute in the corner. The coffee's supposed to pep you.
I know.
Pep you, step you. We have a lot of really funny things and really interesting things that I want to talk about. Did you want to talk about some of your stuff first, or do you want me to get right into Donald Trump?
Yeah, no, let's talk about my stuff first.
Yeah, let's talk about something good.
No, it's interesting.
Yeah, anything with Trump is interesting.
I'm gonna go with my hand on that one. Pick him up.
So apparently Alyssa Milano wants to all women to have a sex strike. You guys in?
No.
Why a sex strike?
I don't know what this broad's talking about. I think it's something to do with equality. Who the fuck knows anymore what she's talking about? She's such a fucking...
There's so many other ways we could do that
Listen,
than
this is the thing
striking
that
on
I don't-
sex.
But what about...
That's depriving us too. It's not just
Hold on.
depriving
Let me
our
actually look up what
partners.
her sex strike's about.
All right, you do that really quick, but I want to explain something while he's doing that, okay? So as a woman, of course, I don't want to be treated like a fucking second side show fucking handband, okay? And I don't want somebody going, hey, ma, what's going on? What's good? I don't want to be spoken to like that. But I'm not going to riot if you don't want to be sexy. Like, then don't be sexy. I mean, she rioted over breastfeeding in public, and guess what?
Oh, here it is. It's to protest new abortion laws.
Okay, wait. So that changes everything.
But, hold on.
That changes everything. 'Cause
Okay.
I would like to change the laws.
Okay, but why are you depriving your husbands of sex? I didn't make these laws. What the fuck are you giving me shit for?
Well, nobody wants to get pregnant now.
And now, hold up. What about gay people? What about lesbian couples? Like, she's saying, you know, from what I'm reading here, she's just talking about men and women's sex, or that's the way she was kind of making it seem, and that's why people are really annoyed with her also.
You know what? I think that it is. People go from, like, I don't get any attention anymore to, what can I do to get more attention? And they'll find anything that fucking tickles their fancy.
Sounds
like her.
Right?
This writer writes, Although Milano may not realize it, her attempt at progressive activism was actually the opposite of feminist. Let me be clear. Calling for women to go on a sex strike isn't woke or cool. This is a woman writer, by the way. It is sexist and harmful. Why? Because it promotes the antiquated narrative that women have sex only as a concession or gift to men, not because they enjoy sex for its own sake. This is not feminist. It's not patriarchal. I agree 1,000,000%.
I do too.
I agree with that. I just feel like there's so much more other things we could be talking about. Do I agree that the abortion laws are by far in New York City out of fucking control? With the new rules that they put out there, Nicole, did you hear?
No.
That you can have
6 weeks in Alabama, or was it Alabama or Florida? One of them.
New York State days after the baby's born.
Oh yeah. You could still abort
You can
somehow.
still abort the baby, and they say actually at
days
night,
after it's
when
born?
the baby's born, right?
How
You
do
have
you-
a day or two to decide if you want to keep the baby's life.
In one of them, it's as soon as they have a heartbeat, you can't abort, which
Right.
could be as
Something
minimal
like-
as 6 weeks.
Something like that. No, and yeah, but you can't. If the baby's in there 9 months, right before you give birth, if you're like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want it, they will kill the baby, and then I guess what, give it to science.
I guess, and use the what's
a little
that
crazy.
treatment they use? The stem cells. They'll use the stem cells.
Right. So what I'm saying to myself is, all right, now this is not again. You have a bad situation that you want to
I
get
mean,
out
at
of.
that point, why wouldn't you just give it up for adoption?
Right. Yes. There's
Yeah.
a lot of emotional ties to things like that, and I get it. But this is something you could decide within the first 12 weeks of being fucking pregnant, please. And I get it. There are certain situations that people don't want to live with that. Or, you know what? I am not judging anybody who's making decisions for whatever they have to do for their life. But past 12 weeks, it is a forming baby.
Now, during the 60s and 70s, and I wanted to bring this up also, and it actually rolls into this perfectly.
Go.
Her whole sex strike thing and the way women are behaving today, as far as striking this, and we're not going to do this, and you know, pussy hats and whatever they're doing.
Pussy hats.
Yeah.
What's a pussy hat?
I want a pussy hat.
You know the pussy hats. They all had pussy hats at the Me Too marches and stuff like that. Now, Me Too obviously is a whole different topic. I'm not talking about Me Too. That's rape and abuse. And
No, yes.
I'm talking about these women who are desexualizing women, who are trying to take away sex from women as if this isn't a punishment to you guys either. But in the 60s and 70s, isn't this what women were fighting for? A sexual revolution to
Being able to express
themselves and be
Yeah.
sexual in a
Yes.
way where I can walk around freely with cleavage out. And
Madonna sang
and
it appropriately in the 80s. Express
wasn't that what
yourself.
women have been fighting for decades? And now,
Absolutely.
and no offense, but you guys are letting it happen. You guys need to be the ones to step up and be like, will you shut the fuck up? Do you realize my aunts, my mothers, my grandmothers fought for us to get here,
Right, but
and
we-
you're reversing what the fuck they did?
From socks to your knees to dresses that'll go past your socks. We've gone through a lot of different things as women, having to be able to be where we are today. I'll go braless and I don't fucking care.
Like the slut shaming thing went away real fast, where everyone was like, you shouldn't slut shame. Now, completely acceptable again. Completely acceptable
exactly.
again.
It's not fair. It's not fair. It goes back and forth to what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what we can do.
It's
what we
your
can't
own
do.
kind doing it,
And-
though.
but-
You can't make up your fucking minds of what you want, not you.
Our own kind.
These are your own kind. You don't see men out here doing this shit.
Oh,
The-
you see
the only men out
complaining about other
marching
things.
are racists or homosexuals. You don't see straight men out marching for anything other than a
That's true.
parade.
Straight men sit home and they don't want to fucking march.
Because we don't give a
Lazy.
shit.
No, I'm kidding.
We don't fucking care. We don't have causes that we're like, you know what? You shouldn't just assume that I'm going to mow the lawn. How dare you? We should march that men shouldn't have to mow the lawn.
Well, but listen, men though pick it at work.
Well, I don't know. What about that whole, like, all those men that were butthurt over that, what was it, a Gillette commercial?
No one marched.
What was it? What was they butthurt
We didn't
about,
march.
though?
We all were like, that's kind of dickish, and then moved on.
What was the move,
But it
though?
wasn't, though.
What was it though? What was it that
It
they
was
were-
that, you know, boys will be boys shouldn't be acceptable.
Oh,
and
that's right, that's
don't
right.
catcall a girl on the street as if all men are rapists if you
I
approach a
actually
woman
enjoyed
on the
that
street.
commercial.
you
You
know.
would.
Hey, I don't think I had a problem with their commercial either, but I'm just saying.
It was a bunch of horse
I didn't
shit
see anything
written
wrong
by
with that
women to
commercial.
put men down because that is the agenda.
The
It was
Gillette
not
commercial
putting
was
men
written by
down.
women?
Really?
I'm asking you.
If it wasn't, it was written by people who should be classified as women. Because
Wow.
that's horse shit, okay? Forever. Not decades, not centuries, forever. That's how boys play. forever.
Wait, you
They
right now, I feel
roughhouse.
like you're shouting in my ear.
I'm not. They
All right.
roughhouse, and they're like, oh, they shouldn't just accept it and say boys will be boys. Yes, you should, because that's what makes men.
Wait, okay. Well, I don't necessarily feel that should be a
I'm not
category
done.
as a boys
Because there's
achieve
more
boys.
horse shit in this commercial. The guy.
I can't.
It
even
was a very
fucking-
respectable
Yeah.
commercial.
Thank you.
There's two guys sitting out on the street. An attractive woman walks by. The one guy goes, hold up a second, to go talk to the woman. The other guy goes, no, wait. As if his friend's a
that
rapist and going to be
commercial.
like, come here, bitch. Maybe he's going to walk up to her and
All
go,
right,
you're
right.
stunning walking past me. I
commercial-
couldn't let your beauty pass me by. Can we maybe get a cup of coffee someday or a drink, or can I take you out to dinner? And maybe he was respectful. But nope, we have to assume the guy's going to be a complete piece of shit and be like, hey, sexy, let me touch your fucking titties.
All right. You're getting really excited, and I actually got to lower my microphone because you're blowing out my hearing.
Because that's how men get portrayed in the media,
They
as if we're
may.
all fucking animals.
They may get portrayed like that in the media, but is it personally saying Rocky? What are you ruizing? Are you pinky out?
No, but they're classifying all men by doing this.
That's not true. If you're taking it personal, then it's your own issue.
No,
I
I'm
don't
taking
take
it personal because guess what? When I was younger and me and Mike would wrestle and fuck around and be boys, and my parents would go, that's boys being boys. You're fucking right, it is.
Yeah, no, that wrestling around, but talking about women. I mean, is that what you're saying is all right? But if he was
There,
gonna, if he
there was
gonna,
nothing in that commercial that was
He didn't say anything inappropriate. But I'm saying if somebody was like, "Yo, what's good, ma?"
Yes, inappropriate.
I think that's inappropriate.
Absolutely,
Okay.
I agree.
So the sentence that he said, like,
he
hey,
didn't
I'm gonna
say
talk to her.
anything. That's the thing. The guy just stopped him before he could even approach the woman.
Oh, okay. Then I think that's
Because-
nonsense.
no, but here-
if he said something disrespectfully,
Here's their point of view, though, that she shouldn't be bothered on the street by a man. She shouldn't have to be bothered by a man on the street.
Oh wait! Oh come on! I say
That's
shit
the
all the
message
time
they're
in the
trying
street.
to get across, though.
All right, well,
that she's
again,
just
it
trying to
depends-
get to her day.
Yes, but it depends what he's saying. If somebody looked at me and goes, "Ma'am, you have beautiful eyes," I would say thank you very much. If
Yes.
someone was like, "Oh my God, them titties,"
Yeah, you'd be like, get the
I was
fuck
like,
out
"You're
of
a
here."
fucking jerk off." I agree with you.
Yes, but
like,
this commercial didn't even let the guy speak. He just went, "Oh man," and kind of went like that.
all right. So the "oh man," I can see how they used that because if they would have been like, "What the fuck," or they said anything more inappropriate, they wouldn't be able to publish a kind of commercial.
No, but
oh man,
no, but
and
they just
the way he
either
said it,
way. He didn't.
I'm just
Oh man,
explaining to you
isn't
from
aggressive.
a woman who watched it. Hi, I'm a woman now. I'm telling you. So for me watching it, him going, "Oh man," would have made me feel like he probably would have walked over, and been like, "What's good?" Instead of saying, "Wow, that girl's beautiful. I'm gonna go talk to her."
Or he's indicating to his friend that I think this girl's attractive. I'm gonna go head over there and talk to her.
Okay, but what I'm telling you is the way he said it is why they reacted that way in the commercial. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I understand why they did the commercial that way. Instead
No, of course I understand why they did the commercial.
They wouldn't publish someone saying, they wouldn't post somebody saying,
No, but
look
you're-
at that bitch's titties.
But you're getting off point here.
But no, I'm not, because the way he said, "Oh man," was probably what they were using.
Yes, of course,
to
that's what I'm
insinuate.
trying to say. But there was
Right.
nothing wrong with someone saying, "Oh man," is what I'm
No,
saying.
"Oh man," you're right.
Is not an aggressive gesture.
But they can't say it more extreme.
Like he literally went to his boy and goes, "Oh man," and then goes and his boy's like, "No man."
Right, but what else would they be able to say for us to understand what they were trying to say? That was a smaller
An aggressive, "Hey baby." A "hey baby," not "oh man." "Oh
right,
man" is
baby,
me
hey,
letting
baby.
my boy know there's something going on. Either way, the commercial's horse shit.
All right, I see Kay agrees with you too. But what I'm saying is that in the intro,
Yeah,
I get why
she's
they
right.
used what they used. However, if somebody was like, "Oh man," or I even heard a guy be like, "Oh man," I do find that to be like, "Oh man, what? What is wrong with you saying, 'Wow, you're beautiful,' or 'Hi, how you doing?'" I think sometimes people do talk fucking disgusting.
I
But so do
agree.
I. I'm a goddamn fucking potty mouth. And
Here we
you know,
go. Here it is. I'm gonna pull it
okay,
up right now.
Play the commercial.
Okay, we're gonna play it so everyone can see how
Just
fair
so you
this
know,
is.
Carl, he's drinking High Life only because you drink it, and he's a follower.
Oh my God.
Ahem.
Bullying.
The Me Too
Hold on.
It's incredible to me, honestly.
Wanna kind of eliminate some of this. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's do it like that. There we go.
Play it.
All right, ready and
against sexual
Toxic
harassment.
masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get? Is it?
okay. Just so we're clear, I'm not all for the bullying part. That's not the part I'm arguing
Okay,
about.
I got you.
We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's
Right there. Really? I understand. Maybe a little like, meh. No girl's going to hear her walking by and go, that's a sign of, you're pretty. I did nothing aggressive towards you. I made a gesture to let you know I think you're pretty.
I don't think a whistle would bother me now. A whistle would not bother me.
Thank you.
A whistle wouldn't
been
bother
going
me.
on far.
Okay. Now that, a man walking up to what I assume is his maid and grabbing her ass, inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
If that's his wife, not. But they aren't completely specific because this does look like an older time the way the wife is dressed or
Right.
the maid.
Right.
And
happened to me.
She is in the
At
kitchen.
work.
Okay,
You've gotten
again.
touched at work?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course. Of course. There's got it every show.
I love it.
Every
swear to
show.
you.
Love it.
I swear to you. I was working
I
at
swear.
a bar.
We're gonna-
and the rep was there. The rep for the liquor was there at the bar, and he walked in, and it was the most phoniest trip ever. Like, you could not have staged this little fall.
And what did he do, grab
And he
your
was
booty?
like, "Oh, sorry," and like grabbed my ass from underneath. First of all, if you were falling and trying to grab something to hold yourself up, your hand would be this way, not this way.
She's right. Play the rest of the commercial.
That's it.
Far too long.
Okay. Now, guys and girls partying together at a party.
Yeah.
So apparently
Partying.
we're the bad guys at the party there, though.
We can't laugh it off.
What I actually think she's trying to
Now
say.
this
Making
part
the
again,
same old
condescending a woman
excuses.
in front of other men. Now this part, boys are just fucking around. The dads are watching. Boys will be boys.
Right.
Do you know how many times I have been doing this at a
Go
barbecue?
play. I'd have to see it. Like,
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault
And now they do this.
I love
so-
that.
Now-
Do not talk bad about my girl.
Fuck
Wait, all right,
no.
so now
I
they're
don't know who
tying
this
in-
is,
they're
but now they're
tying
tying
in-
that's
in
the
Me
Young
Too.
Turks.
But no, but
Now
they're
they're
tying
tying
in
in Me
wrestling
Too.
boys to harassment.
Yeah,
and that's
to
not
Me
cool.
Too.
I get that. No, I get it. I get it.
But she says
As this is all men now.
No,
all
right,
men
right,
are
right.
this.
And there will be
No,
no
I get it.
going
You're
back. Because we believe in the best in men.
And now, well, you don't even need to watch the rest. The rest of this commercial is them pretty much saying, "Hey, men, tell other men to stop doing this
Okay,
stuff."
all right.
Now,
So, wait.
hold on. As a man, let me get my one
You go
part
your
out
thing way first, then we go.
because
I think you should finish the rest of the commercial.
no, there's no need to. There really isn't.
Oh God, no,
Now, as a man, I'm never sitting there watching a woman be harassed and going, "Glad that's happening." I've never once seen a girl
Yeah.
being assaulted or raped
You're
and
a
go,
liar. I see you doodle.
well, not going to say anything or do anything
Let that
about
roll
that.
on by.
That's just going to happen. Every man will defend a woman who's a real man.
Of course.
No man will sit there, and that's why this commercial is fucking horseshit. Because they're trying to tell us, hey, guys, step up and be the
Listen,
better
though,
guy.
but let me
And what do you
just-
think we do?
Wait. Let me just get this out there because there is that 10%, and that's right. I'm going to go 10% because I don't really know. So I'm going to throw 10%.
Of America.
There's 10% of New York,
New York, okay.
10% of New York that are disrespectful,
I'd
that
go
are
higher.
I'm doing 10%. You know why? Because some people are sensitive, and I wouldn't take offense to some things people will. So I'm going to
Yeah.
go 10% are maliciously fresh, and
Yeah.
then there's about 30 to 40% that are fucking old school prejudice assholes. You know, we have it all over, but the generalism I get is not fair because my son will wrestle around with my nephew, and me and my brother aren't going, don't touch his pee-pee. Don't wrestle and touch pee-pee.
This is going to lead to them raping
Right,
women.
Exactly. You know what I'm
What?
saying? Like, this is, you know, there are certain situations where I go, you know what? That boy is kind of maybe touching him. But it's not all the time. And to generalize isn't fair. And for Gillette, who used to be the awesome funny show commercials.
Well, their thing was the best a man can get as, like, we make a man the best they can get by our razors.
yeah.
Now it's, you're not being the best men you can be, and we're telling you, you be the best men
Right,
you
if you
can
want to
be.
use our razors, you be
Yeah.
the best man.
And it's like,
I get,
fuck you, razor guy.
You're absolutely
What
right.
the-
Yeah,
who the fuck are you to tell me? You make razors.
Goddamn
Make your
monotone
razors.
speaking
Shut the fuck up.
motherfucker.
Asshole. fuck your mother. How about that?
Oh my God.
No, that was really fresh, but he was monotone motherfucker. So anyway, but I agree. I guess people go to the extremes of everything. It should just be one. Don't be this person. I guess I don't know.
There's no need for that commercial. There's no need for it other than be like, hey, look, we're part of the team, ladies. That's a white fucking knight move.
Wait. How about this? If they didn't have in that commercial, the boys will be boys. Let's say take that one out. If it was the rest of the commercial, I don't see why it's a bad commercial.
Wait, hold on.
I might look at it
Okay,
and go.
but do you know one of the main reasons
Hold
that
on, you know
commercial
what?
came
We'll put
out
it back.
was around the whole thing that was going on with I can't think of his name.
Just Josie Summit, whatever.
No,
No,
the
no.
judge that he was putting up in the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I know who you talk. Kavanaugh.
Yeah,
All right,
Kavanaugh.
I don't know who Kavanaugh
All right, well, watch
Kavanaugh.
this. Here.
Men accountable.
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
To say
He said, what's going on, sweetie?
Okay,
And the
that's
other guy
not-
walks
that's not
over and
bad.
goes, come on.
That's not bad. Come on, what's up, sweetie? Sweetie?
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with sweetie.
If a girl walked up to me and goes, hey, baby, you look cute. But I'm going to be like, how dare you? How dare you?
Don't you talk to me like
I am not cute
I'm
or
a
a
man.
baby. I am
I'm
a
a
man
man.
and ugly.
right thing,
Now,
to
look,
act
this is the part.
the right way.
Bro, not cool. Not cool.
Why not
all right,
cool?
All right, wait. They showed the picture of just her waist and ass walking by, and he went, hey, and his friend went, hey, because it was the vision of her ass.
Exactly.
Okay, but
I
they-
get that part.
But they're leading you to see it that way.
Exactly.
Now,
Because
If
that
they
is
are.
in a lot of society right
But-
now.
no, it is not a lot. You cannot say a lot,
Wait,
first of all.
wait,
That is
but
insane to
is
say a
leading.
lot.
That is leading. Wait, that is leading to believe that he is only looking at her ass because that's all they fucking
Even
show.
if he is, what are men first attracted to? Tits, ass, and maybe your face. Tits and ass first.
Maybe your face.
Yes.
Wow.
As a man, I am going to be honest with you.
Well,
the
let me tell
first
you
thing a guy
something,
sees
all
on a
right?
woman is a pair of
Let me
tits
tell
or a
you
pair of ass,
something.
and then looks up
What
and goes,
if I told
okay,
you if I was attracted to tits and ass and then face? What do you got?
fine, great.
Don't say that. That sounds horrible.
That's sexual attraction. It's fucking human nature.
It is sexual attraction, but the way you're saying it sounds chauvinistic, and I
No,
don't like it.
I'm saying it in a way that's the way it's been since civilization.
It's not. Maybe for a fucking caveman.
For everybody.
No, it's not for everybody. People don't go, she has tits or ass, and then maybe I'll look at her face. The first thing you fucking look at is their face.
Then why do we have Playboy? So you can open it up and see their faces?
No, that is for a more sexual outlook. But when you first look at somebody, it's their face. You could look at somebody in a fucking sweatshirt. You tell me when I wear a sweatshirt, I can't be sexy?
Of course you can. But you still have impressions of your body.
That is ridiculous.
It's
That
not.
is the most ridiculous thing.
Men are attracted to women. There's nothing wrong with that. Why is it now, if I look at your ass or your tits, now that's wrong? That's why you have
I
tits.
am not
Men are
saying,
attracted to them.
I'm not saying not
And
to
for
have
feeding,
those,
obviously.
I'm not saying those are not things
But they
you
don't
would
need to be
look for
huge to
as
feed.
features, Rocky. But if I had a fucked up face, you would not be fucking me if I had tits.
Of
goddamn
course
Pamela
not.
Anderson.
Of course not.
So your face
I'm not saying the face
matters.
doesn't matter. I didn't say that.
No,
I
you
said
said
it's
tits and ass. Fuck that.
is the first thing a
Could
guy
you
will
answer
look
this?
at. Is
Answer
the
this.
first thing a guy
Answer
will
this right
look
now.
at.
Could you fuck Jeannie? And you know who I'm talking
No,
about.
because her body's
A
gross
face?
too.
No, it was not. That bitch's
Yes, it
ass, you
was.
could bounce quarters
Ugh,
off it.
yeah,
You
right.
don't be front. That girl had a tits and ass.
Not my
Unbelievable.
cup of tea.
A face you'd
Nope.
throw up on.
Nope. Not my cup of tea.
Oh,
and either
unbelievable.
way, I didn't
Unbelievable.
say you're putting words in my mouth. I never said you could
In the
have.
chat room, what did he say?
I
Tits,
said,
ass, then
guys,
face.
first look. First look. When you first see a girl, if I'm in the club, what do I look at? I go, oh, her
Are
pretty
you
face.
throwing things?
I'm putting it down.
Bring yourself down a little bit.
I'm putting it down.
Anger fucking
what I
management.
said, and if I'm in the club, I'm watching a girl shake her ass from behind, and I can't see her face. Guess what? She got a nice ass. I'm gonna check out the rest of her. Right or wrong?
When you saw me that night, you stared at my face. I was wearing nothing at all revealing,
Holy
and you
shit!
looked at
You're
my face and you
deflecting
went,
my
"I wanna-"
question.
No,
right
I'm
or
making
wrong?
a point.
No, you're not. You're deflecting my question. Right or wrong? Girl in a dance club shaking her ass, her tits. It's dark. I can't see her fucking face.
You're not
I
looking
go,
for a relationship.
Yeah.
You're looking
Who
to
says
fuck.
I'm not?
Why are you yelling? I'm gonna come across the fucking bar here and slap you down. to
You're
my
not gonna
level.
do any of that. You're doing
yelling.
none of that.
You're yelling.
I'm expressing my anger about this
You're
dumb
talking
shit.
like way above my ear levels.
Then lower your headphones.
No, go down.
I won't.
Go the fuck down.
I won't.
When people look at women for tits and ass, they're looking to fuck.
It's part of looking at a woman.
Stop. When men are looking at that, they're looking to fuck. When men are looking for a relationship and
wrong.
steady something, there are features
Wrong.
they would like. Fuck you, because your ex-wife had nothing that you wanted.
What does that have to do with
No
anything?
tits, no ass,
Yeah.
no face.
And I married her because of my son.
Okay, so other reasons. There are other reasons to be with
But
people
again,
other
you're
than
not
tits and
making
ass.
sense to this argument.
It's like ass.
No, you're not.
I'm making
What
the
I'm
point that
saying
it's not only
is
tits and
a
ass.
tits and ass matter to a man. So when I see a girl on the dance floor and her fucking ass is moving and I go, that's a nice ass. I didn't see her face yet. I will still approach that girl based off of her ass.
Well,
and
that
so will
shows-
every single other guy.
So all you just proved is that you're like everybody else.
No, that is the law of sexual attraction
It's
for
not.
men and women.
Okay, let's change the subject.
I was just gonna
because-
say, what's the next topic?
Yeah, because first of all, get this out of my face. Thank you. And second of all, let's lower this volume because it's just out of control. We obviously do not agree on what.
No, because you're not hearing what I'm saying.
No, we are very clearly hearing you because
You're
you're
not.
yelling and screaming.
No,
Yeah,
you're
look at
not.
the chat room. Everybody says, "Calm down, buddy." Okay. Next up.
I don't see one person saying that.
I'm your Aunt Cindy. Calm down. Okay.
One person. Get out.
Okay. Whatever.
You're supposed to be on my team. You're my aunt.
No. End of story. We're done.
Kay
We're done
said
with
this
that.
is going to be the highest rated show.
It's the most fucking
Super
ridiculous
Ugly.
conversation I've ever had in my life, and it makes me like get very uncomfortable with my own husband.
Oh,
so
stop.
let's change the subject. I want to talk about more things that I've never known. And again, of course, we've all been in school, and I don't really remember a lot from high school. I don't know if anybody does, but I don't remember a lot about the planets and the universe and stuff like that. I just don't remember. So I started really getting interested in a lot of like the space and what we have in space. And my mother-in-law and I were talking on Mother's Day, and she was explaining to me about this guy, Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon, the maker of Amazon. All right, so he's coming up with like this plan. He's using all of his money, from what I read in the article, to come up with a plan to use the space that we do have out in the atmosphere away from Earth to create bins, basically, like bins like things float, right? So everything would be floating, and you'd have to have like a space of like a bin that he would put all of the Earth's trash, and then there'd be all the factories and all these separate things that are affecting the Earth and that are bringing us down to keep us going, right? So that we don't get swallowed by trash and all the other things. So my question to this is that if this is what they're actually doing, and there's an article that you guys can look up. This says people are roasting Jeff Bezos' ridiculous space habitats ideas that he has.
I think it's kind of stupid because what if it gets too close to where like
Now, we're right. So, but there's no
Too close to
gravity
where,
of
like, what?
space. If there's nothing in this space,
He's going to
there's-
build an ecosystem like a big dome.
right, like everything to be in this thing away from the Earth, so that we can ship up.
Did you ever see
all
Total
of-
Recall?
Yes, I
Picture
did.
that.
Right.
I never saw it.
It's really interesting, and again, I'm not saying that it would be 100% thing that would work, but it is an idea to try to filter out a lot of the garbage we have. I mean,
He also wants people to work up there, though, too.
he does. He wants people to work up there in the factories. Now, this would be something somebody would have to decide on their own. I want to work up in space. Maybe there are single people who don't have families and people who are like, fuck it, I'll go to space.
You got to be like seriously mentally strong, I feel like. To
Here's the other thing. Great on paper. How you getting there? Let's
He's
figure that
talking
part
about
out.
shuttles
Yeah,
now.
I know. A lot of people are. Elon Musk is working on all that shit, but none of them's actually doing anything that's going to make it to as far as they think they want to go.
I feel like why don't we work on the planet we have first before we start?
Because we've
Trying to-
destroyed this one, in their opinion.
What
And they
they're
wanna
saying
leave
is
it.
that we're at a point right now that all we can do is take everything off to make the living space more cleanly,
Sorry, I didn't know another bottle was in there.
more livable. Because they're saying within, what is it, 100 years that we're going to be covered in trash? I don't even know what they're saying. Right? So this is the idea that's going around. I don't know. I have a mixed opinion about it. I think that if it's something logical that's going to help us in the future, I mean, why not? It's his own money he's spending. He's not asking for any type of money.
Can I
It's
ask
his
something?
money.
He better not. He don't pay taxes.
No, he's a trillionaire. Of
Yeah.
course he's not asking.
Can I ask something?
Ooh, she said he don't pay taxes.
He doesn't.
Nicole knows about that. Tell us about your situation with taxes.
Hold on.
You're nuts.
Because let's go back to like,
love
let's
it.
say like 1985 to 1995. All we heard about was the ozone layer this, the ozone layer that, hairspray damaging,
yeah.
yada, yada, yada.
Right.
When was the last time you heard anyone bring up the ozone layer?
Actually, it was recently we had problems with global warming.
No.
Right?
You hear polar ice caps now. You don't hear ozone layer no more.
No,
Now,
but you hear
now
the
we
the ozone layer
now
is
we
pretty
do.
much gone. It's like
It's not
non-existent.
gone. There's a tiny hole in it.
Where's the tiny hole?
There's a rip in the ozone layer. There's no. It's not even close to.
Somebody
gone.
look up how big the rip in
If
the
the ozone layer
is.
was gone, we'd all be fried.
No, I'm just asking. I wanted somebody to look up how big the rip is in the ozone layer.
Yeah, there's a rip, but again, now it's all we hear about is polar ice caps. In 20 years from now, what'll be the next thing we hear about? Because you have to think of the Earth as a body. You cut yourself, you heal. You hurt the Earth, it heals itself. Yeah, sometimes it's destructive shit it's doing. Volcanoes, hurricanes, storms, tidal waves, tsunamis, whatever the case may be. It's destructive.
But it's not going to heal itself if we're doing things to keep destroying it.
It's such a massive place,
animals too.
and we think we're destroying it. We're destroying such a minuscule part of the Earth,
Well,
as
we're not
far
really
as like
involved in
China
recycling,
and
so we don't know the
garbage.
damage of the Earth.
No, I know, but again, think of the scale of the Earth.
Yeah, but we're not involved in that, so let's not generalize. We don't know what the damage is.
I know, and I'm not saying I do, but I'm saying as a theorist, because this is a theory of mine, that the size of the Earth is gigantic. Probably 75% of it isn't even inhabited by life, other
Right, yeah,
than
there's, of course, a lot
than
of-
nature life.
Right.
Okay. I get it. There's a lot of garbage. It's the plastic thing I get too.
Think about China.
But this is all agendas driven by
Water.
whatever politician feels like this is my agenda to jump on, and I'll get people to follow me with this, and this will be my way to get my way into office, and
yeah,
this
but
will
these
be
are
my,
actual problems that we do have.
they
Garbage is a problem. Polluting in the water is a problem. Animals dying
but
is
they're
a
not.
problem.
But they're not these they make them out to be these gigantic things when on a grand scale of Earth, it's a fucking ant in a field.
Okay, but still an issue. So I'm not asking you what your opinion is on how big this is a deal.
No.
I'm asking you, do you think that would be a good idea to do this space?
Again, yes, absolutely.
system?
But first, figure out how to get there. Like everyone wants to talk about doing things in space, but we haven't even figured out how. We haven't gone back to the moon since
Well, we don't know because
1969.
we don't work in these areas. So maybe he is working on something. Would it be something you would promote?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. I don't know. It turns into like these weird fucking debates tonight. Okay.
I wouldn't. I think it's stupid.
I would definitely be interested to find out about what that would do to benefit us. If it was like, hey, this is what it will do in 10 years, then and might look and go, how that would be great.
If there's-
I might be for it. If they say, hey, we don't know what's going to happen, I might be like, I don't know if we should.
But
waste
if there's no life on
See,
that
my
planet,
concern would be like how whatever it is that causes like meteors to
Yeah.
come towards Earth.
right.
What's to stop these, garbage plants or whatever they're putting in space, floating in space to?
they're not putting the planet there. It's an existing planet.
No, I thought she
They wanna
said.
use,
No,
they're
it's an
building
existing
facilities.
planet.
I didn't. I thought she said
Oh,
putting like floating facilities.
No,
No,
he
no,
was
no,
saying
no.
yes. He was putting
Not
facilities
on
No,
a
I saw the
planet.
drawings. I saw the drawings.
It's showing me open space, no planet that it would be on.
Let me see that.
All right, look at the.
Because I saw
So-
something different, like fucking.
No, they were saying that
what is
there are
this?
no other planets there or that are. They're going to be able to go and put these things on. I thought that it
Rotating
was
orbital cities.
Yes, like yes. Okay, so no, not on a planet. It would be like floating.
This
like
is some insane science fiction shit. It would be cool in theory, but I mean that. I don't.
This is what me and your mother were discussing.
No, I
it's
know,
not science
but-
fiction. It's what he wants to do.
No, yes, I get it. Just because he wants to do it, it's still science fiction until it's done, though, baby. But yeah, in theory, it's a great fucking idea. But this is not something that can happen in his lifetime.
Maybe
It's something he
not,
can maybe
but
get
it's-
started.
Can't even
No,
fucking take it.
Why?
Yes.
I'm not saying anything.
Yes, it's something.
If you don't want me to
obviously in
talk,
the
I
future.
gladly won't.
No, it's not. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that it is something not even happening tomorrow in
Obviously.
the future. Would this be something we would be interested in doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if all the people who think this world's going to hell, now you have someplace to go.
What?
What?
What does that even mean?
Because there's all these people who are scared that we're damaging the earth, and if you're scared we're damaging the earth,
I'm
go to the new
scared. Do we
thing.
have a phone call? I am scared that we're damaging the earth, okay? We are not taking care of the earth. This guy is turning into
And
a very good show.
Oh, someone is calling.
Thank you. Whoever's calling, I want to know.
Oh no.
Who is this?
Oh no.
Give it to me. Who is it?
Hello, mother.
Hello, dear.
Oh, Ma.
What am I wrong about, Ma? Ma, lower the show.
Yeah, lower
when
the
you
show.
call in, you have to lower the show, Ma.
Oh, okay, wait.
Please
I'll
talk,
lower
Ma.
it.
Please talk.
Well, because neither
Ma,
one
it's
of
still
you
playing.
understand.
It's still playing. What are you playing the show on?
Right, wait, I'm shutting it off. Wait.
Okay.
I love you, mother.
All right,
love her
hold
too.
on.
She does this every time she calls.
You got to give me a second.
You take your time, Ma.
You got to give me a second because I'm not used to this.
What are you using YouTube on, Ma?
Wait a second.
No,
I'm
answer
doing
me.
it. Wait,
Turn off
there
your
we go.
phone.
Is it off?
I
Yes.
hope I don't hear it.
Perfect.
Okay, go ahead. What am I wrong about, Ma?
Good. No, you're not wrong. What I'm trying to tell you is that Jeff Bezos wants to build space stations, like the space station that's already up there. There's weather stations, there's space stations. That's what he wants to build. Space stations. They're not far. They're like, like however long it takes to get to the moon.
No, see, I was under the impression this would be like a total recall planet, like we're setting up a thing
No,
on a planet.
he wants to
I was
build-
mistaken on that part.
He wants to build like little satellites, like you would have
Yeah.
like lots of little satellites.
Like
out
NASA's
there.
space station. I know what you mean now.
Exactly, like the NASA space station. That's what he wants to build. It is a little bit out there. Jeff Bezos is a little bit, off the wall. That's how he got to be a multi-billionaire. But it does make sense, and like you said, even though the way you say it, for people who don't want to be here, yes, they could live there.
Right.
They could live on space stations, or they could work on space
And
stations.
if they have nothing else to live for
like
here-
truck drivers now go out for 3 or 4 days and come back for a week. That's how you would work. You would go to a space station for a week, and then you come home for a week. Kind of like, firemen work 3 days on, 4 days off, or whatever.
I think that's great.
Like that. It's not that bizarre.
No, but for people who have nothing, why not?
Well, for somebody, but if you also want to think about it, for somebody like Ted Turner, who happens to be the largest landowner in the world, he owns 3 million acres in the United States, and has donated them all to parks and reserves and rebuild buffalo herds and
That's
all
amazing.
that kind
I
of
didn't
stuff.
know that.
That's what he does with his money. Billionaires can also use their money to improve where we
Bill
are.
Gates creates irrigation systems in Africa and shit like that, right?
Exactly. I mean, there's also things you could do here to make it better. And what they could also do, because it's my pet peeve, is that all these freaking billionaires who want to save the world, and millionaires too, all have private jets that, burn up fossil fuel and all that. Like, it doesn't affect
Well, and
their
that's my
life.
point, Ma, is that it's all an agenda by whatever the side they're on. None of this is real. Is my point, is that yes, are these things actually happening? Yes. Are they happening on the scale that these politicians and these billionaires want us to believe? Absolutely not.
Well,
and that's
no,
what I
but-
find hard to
but
believe.
It's a concern, and it's a concern for the future of not your children or your grandchildren, but maybe your great-grandchildren and your great-great-grandchildren.
Let me ask you
I'll
something.
be long gone,
Ma.
so I don't really care.
Well, exactly. That's
Wait.
my point too. At that point, I'll be long gone
But
too.
it's still something that I think about and I want to talk about. Ma, I have another question for you while I have you here, because it is another topic I spoke to you about. This Planet X situation that they have going on, pretty much stating that there's this planet coming into our orbit.
She thinks she's an idiot, Kay. Go ahead.
No, this planet that's coming into our orbit, the one that is supposed to every 3,600 years come back and
Right.
it like creates world travesties, right? Like it did.
Right.
I want to just
Disasters, natural disasters.
Natural
natural
disasters.
disasters, right? So this planet's pushing, and we had the thing in Egypt, we had the Noah's Ark. Now they're saying that this time around we're supposed to have like the boiling of the earth, the volcanic explosions, and the air is going to be bad.
Because the ash and everything.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you, Mom, believe you are very, very, very smart educationally? You are primed and proper. What do you think about that planet?
I think that's ridiculous.
Have you ever heard of it?
I don't think that there is another planet out there that all of a sudden. I think that the Earth every thousands of years goes through changes. That's why there was a Stone Age and an Ice Age and all the different. I think that all of those ages have happened, and that's why they happen, because every so many thousands of years things happen. If the human race becomes extinct, you won't have to worry about it, Jessica. Don't lose any sleep.
Yeah, we'll all be dead, not just you.
And if it doesn't, then I think that by the time something like that happens, I think that science and the human mind has developed enough to evade any kind of like natural disaster. That's not going to happen
complete
overnight.
extinction.
Yeah. Now
I
read
wake up one morning and
it would be over time.
Right, it's going to be over
unless it's a comet or
hundreds
something
and
like that.
hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Something like that is not going to happen, in a week.
Now, I read something very interesting today that only strengthens my theory on this whole polar ice cap thing and water levels. Now, today I read that because of earthquakes on the moon, which they're not earthquakes, they're moonquakes, the moon is shrinking, scientists are saying. Not like gigantically, but somewhat.
Right.
Now, the moon affects our tides, affects our water levels, all that sort of stuff.
Right.
Is the moon shrinking possibly part of the reason with the whole polar ice caps thing and the tide levels?
Well, of course. That is the premise.
But we're not doing anything to the moon to cause that.
Aunt Lou does not believe in global warming, and that's the reason she doesn't. She doesn't believe that humans are causing global warming.
Because we're not big enough on the scale of Earth.
Most scientists believe that global warming is caused by people, by humans, and the way that they abuse the planet.
Yeah.
Some scientists and many people believe that global warming is caused by just a natural progression that
of Earth
will reverse itself hundreds of years from now the way it has in the past.
Yeah.
The way islands appear and, some islands now are disappearing, the way that the Earth has changed. Some people believe that that's just nature. From
what I think, right, like the Earth purposely really fucks itself up to repair itself and make itself stronger.
Well, and make itself different.
Like to make it like very basic. You get what I'm saying?
Like you shed a skin.
Yeah, exactly. Like a turtle sheds its shell or a snake sheds its skin.
Right.
It's fucking itself up. not like intentionally, but it's doing all these things and then going, all right, when all this is done, it'll be for the better.
What, like Thanos?
No.
There's things that we do, like when they dredge the bay, to build $1 million houses and, to stop erosion of the beaches, and then that causes the other side of the dredge to flood. That's we created that problem.
Right.
People created that problem. After like a decade, they uncreate that problem because then they realize that they screwed it up. And they remove the dredge, or they remove the dam.
That's the arrogance of humans, though. That is the arrogance of humans. To think that we're going to affect the planet.
Wait, but at the same time, though, Ma, how horrible is the pollution in the water with these?
Yes. It's disgusting.
And it comes from everybody just throwing their you can't put it in the fucking garbage, you lazy-ass motherfuckers.
And it's especially disgusting in New York.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
When you leave the tri-state area, you do not see garbage on the sides of the roads.
Nope.
People throwing bags and cups and all kinds of crap out as they're driving.
Absolutely.
Kids dumping trash in.
You're right.
When there's a garbage pail 3 feet away, because they don't want to walk the other 3 feet. That's another one of my pet peeves. Is like you trash your area, the area that you live in.
Right, exactly.
And then you walk around going, oh, New York sucks because it's so
all right,
dirty.
but Mom, now let me ask you this: you got New York, China, L.A. Name a few other places across the world that are really doing a lot of pollution, right?
Right.
Now, on the grand scale, again, of Earth, do we really think those 10 to 50 places are really doing that much damage to a place of this size?
Everything eventually
Well, maybe
moves.
not to the earth, but they're doing a lot of damage to the people that live there.
Yes, and then
Yes,
it travels, though.
fine.
It
That-
does spread.
yeah.
And that and not only does it do damage physically because you can't breathe, you can't see,
Yeah.
you can't, but you have to know yourself. I mean, we have lived right now through 3 weeks of freaking rain.
Oh my God.
And like sometimes you get so depressed looking at the clouds you don't even want to put your clothes on.
Yeah.
So imagine, when you can't see the sun.
You live like that every
That's
day.
China, though. China's like that, but you can't even see the sky
4
because it's so
months
clogged.
At a time. You
Yeah.
can't see the freaking sun.
It's disgusting.
You can't
Yeah.
take a breath of clean air.
But, Ma,
but for human people to be doing that to themselves is it's beyond stupidity.
But Ma, other than China and California, those are really the only two places where you can't see through the smog. There's no other
Where
really
in
places.
California is like that because
At Los
California is-
Angeles.
Really, because there's a lot of laws over there, even about your cars.
No,
let
I
alone-
know. Now there are, but the
Yeah, but
damage
the
is already
laws are
done.
Now. And China has them because China has spent in the past decades billions upon billions of dollars building their factories to become, an economic powerhouse, but without the EPA regulations that like our country has. So they have destroyed their own atmosphere,
Right.
and now they have to clean it up. Just like Mexico. I mean, if you happen to be an oil company and you're on our side of the Rio Grande, you can't throw your sludge into the Rio Grande River.
Right.
So oil companies move to the other side of the Rio Grande,
Gulf,
the Mexico side, and they throw their sludge into the Rio Grande River. Well, it's the same fucking river.
Hey, we knew a
plain
guy who
English.
did that, Ma.
Hey,
Exactly.
So, but really,
it's the same river.
But wait, Ma,
Okay?
was it you, Ma, or was it you, Rocky, who was telling me about the place that built all the cities that are empty?
Oh yeah, China did, and Ma, you know about all the empty cities in China that they built all those
Yeah.
cities. Ma, real quick, Cindy in Texas says hello.
Oh, hello to her too.
Okay, but
That
yeah,
was very nice. Jim sent me a hello for Mother's Day too.
Oh,
they built all these cities in China thinking people were going to go to them, and now they're just empty, literally just empty cities. There's
crazy.
gigantic buildings half built, and some of them are fully built, and there's just no. Some people do live there though in some of these cities, right, Ma? But it's like so.
Yes, but there's no work.
Yeah,
there's
it's-
no factories.
Yeah.
So they can't. It's like
Because they
it's
made
like
all these
going to
plans
live-
but never followed through.
It's like you could buy a house in North Dakota for $5.
right.
Okay, why? Because first of all, nobody wants to live in North Dakota because of the cold,
Right.
and there's not enough industry. Now there is because they found oil, but if you want to go there and live, you could buy a house for dirt cheap because they're importing people from other states, and that's what China has to do. They have
Italy
to
is
put
actually selling
work.
places for $1 to get people to
Yes,
their place.
they have-
Fuck outta
they
here.
have
Yes.
to put
Let's
work.
move to Italy.
Ma, you heard about that, right?
Can we buy one for
Yes, I
$1?
did.
Yeah,
Yes, I
Italy.
did. That is actually true.
They have a village where they're selling dollar houses, but there's no
For a
work
dollar.
there. So you could live there,
Right,
but you
there's
won't.
no
You
work.
can't do anything.
You could live there.
But how
Right,
far
you
is
can live
work
there.
from the village?
Far, or people would be
Far.
living there.
Well, what if we bought it
You
for
have to-
$1 and then lived
Well,
here and
but-
that was our vacation home?
But you have to
I'd do it.
understand. when you go
They're
to
not letting you do
Italy,
that.
When you go to Italy, the average car is like a Mini Cooper.
Yeah,
Okay.
and most people don't
And
drive.
Right.
People are on scooters.
Or
They don't
bikes.
drive cars.
I know
or
she's
bikes.
so smart, Cindy. It's ridiculous.
Or they walk. So you have these narrow cobblestone streets that don't allow for cars many times, and so there's no industry. There's no
Right.
work. So if you can't work,
Greece is broke.
if you can't work
Greece?
within
Yeah.
45 minutes of your house,
I
you
need to
can't-
really read more.
Ma, tell them how Greece is broke.
yes, Germany is broke too.
Yeah,
What?
Germany was the richest country in Europe, and that's why Merkel had to resign. She's not running again because she's bankrupted the country. I mean, and
Holy-
they have the strongest economy in Europe. It's amazing, but what's happening? But just to go back to your original topic, Rocky, what you were saying in the beginning, you said it wrong.
what?
Okay, what you were trying to say was that initially when you meet someone, whether it be a male or a female, sexual chemistry attraction is the first thing that will make you go up to that person and say hello. it doesn't matter whether you're looking at her boobs or her ass. It's the sexual attraction and the chemistry, and you just said it wrong.
No, yeah, I said it. I definitely did say that I emphasized just the tits and ass part of it.
Yes,
but
it's part of the chemistry, and I don't want to get you back on
I'm
that
not.
subject
I'm not.
because I don't want to hear you screaming.
I'm not going to scream.
Thanks, Ma, for saying you were screaming.
But that is the point. And for you, Jessica, to say that a guy that does that is not right. As a 71-year-old woman, I have to tell you, women do it too.
They do. They do. I'm not saying women don't, and just men are bad.
I'm not looking. If I happen to see a guy, with a fabulous build, that's what's going to get me first. Not his face, not his feet, not his shoulders and his biceps or whatever. So people are physically attracted to other people.
Yes.
That doesn't mean you're supposed to go around
of course not.
Comments
yes.
and
yes.
and assaulting people verbally.
But
or
in that commercial, they
other
made a
way.
point to show the guy's eyeline looking at her ass, and I guess
because
I did come
Gillette has
across
an
wrong with my
agenda.
point. But what I was saying is
jumping
it's
on-
sexual attraction no matter where you look.
Yes, and they're jumping on a movement to get customers, which is, everybody has to jump on a movement without actually thinking, with their own brain. Critical thinking is one of the things I teach more than anything else.
And they just said, "This is hot right now. Let's jump on this and make a few
let's
bucks."
Just jump on it. We can all look like idiots as long as we look like we're jumping on the movement.
Well, you
Meanwhile,
do
the
know
guys,
there's Dollar
the guys
Shave
who made
Club.
that commercial are probably hitting on the women in the office.
Absolutely.
Well,
happens to
exactly.
me at least once a month in my place of business. So.
Ooh, where's your place
But it
of
happens the
business?
other way around too. Like just girls aren't as aggressive or upfront about it, but they do
Yeah,
their
Guys
little
don't complain
things.
when girls are fresh.
Some guys do.
But here's the difference. Sexual harassment, the rule for sexual harassment is a position of power, okay? In order to be sexually harassed, technically, the legal term, in order to be sexually harassed, it must be happening from a person who has more power than you. And you can sit there and spout whatever you want to say. I am here to tell you that white men in this country, in the world, have the power.
Yeah.
The women have been relegated to accept that
I agree.
because men have the power.
Yes, and they controlled it and made the image of that's the way it should be.
Exactly.
I
They
agree,
control the power,
absolutely.
they control the money. They control the paychecks. They control that.
I love
That's
this woman.
why it's so offensive.
Yes, no, I agree with you on all of that. And I'm not saying that doesn't exist. But what I'm saying is also, if a woman walks by me and goes, "Nice ass," I'm not going to be like, "How dare you?" I'm going to go, "Hey, thanks. That was nice. Now I feel better about myself." If
Yeah,
a guy,
but if you say that to a girl, it's a little inappropriate.
it is, but also in the back of their head, you can't tell me they're not going, "I like that a little bit." He said, "I have a nice ass. I like that a little bit. I have a nice
course,
ass."
everybody likes
And
to
now
be
for the rest of the
told.
day, you're probably shaking your little ass around going, "I have a nice ass. I have a nice ass."
Yes, but you have to understand that
It's when they're
90% of what
aggressive and
women-
shitty about it that I get.
And
Go ahead. Sorry, Mom.
90% of what women are complaining about is happening in the workplace. And Nicole, I get you. It's happening in the workplace where the men are in charge.
But do you still
Okay.
think it is? Because now there's such a fear in men of like saying
Absolutely still
anything.
is. It absolutely still is.
Yeah.
It is
I
still
guess
happening.
because I'm not
It's
top level management. I'm middle management.
not living in
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it absolutely still is. I have sat in directors' meetings and I wouldn't even tell you the things that were said to
Yeah.
me or the things that were said about me as the only woman director out of 8.
See, as
Okay?
middle management, I walk on eggshells more than anybody because it's like
and you
you're
have
at a
to.
real precarious position.
See,
And you
can I
have
tell you the place that I just left last week? Up until a couple of months ago, when one of the new women complained about it, one of the carts that the men used in the warehouse was plastered
With pornographic
with
stuff.
pornographic.
Yeah, that's inappropriate. I agree. The guys
it's
in
been
our
that way
warehouse used
for
to do it.
years.
Yeah, guys
When
in our
I-
warehouse
and the
used to
women,
do it too.
we walk back there all the time
Yeah.
and have to look at that.
And let me
it's
tell you
like-
something, Nicole. When I first became a director of HR, that was the first thing that I said was these things need to come down, and I was almost laughed out of the conference room.
Yeah.
They eventually did come down because my boss did actually listen to me after, after he thought about it for a while. I think maybe after he went home and talked to his wife. But they think it's ridiculous that you should be upset over stuff.
It's
like
this
that.
old school mentality that is dying, though. Like in my generation, we're more
It is dying.
about equality,
Yes, it is.
and I still see it at my job. Where I was walking the other day, and someone had mentioned something about their wife, and I was like, "Yeah, everyone's wife does things," and he's like, "Nah, not my wife, not like my wife," and I'm like, "It's not a competition on if your wife's shittier than other people's wives," and the fact that you're even doing that is kind of weird. And why are you with her then if she's that shitty?
You shouldn't talk about your significant other
Anybody
anyway.
who, I used to say to people, anybody who is stupid enough to say bad things about their wife is a real moron because you married her.
Exactly.
You chose her.
Exactly. I never trash my wife
What kind of a fucking idiot
ever.
are you?
You don't have any reason
if
to
you
trash
think
me.
that there's something wrong with your wife.
No, but
gotta
to
be
go
a
back
real
to
idiot.
boys will be boys. When guys are in group settings, sometimes guys will be like, "Yeah, my wife," just to be part of the group.
Yeah, but I don't have anything you could say.
No, but again,
Right, Mom? I'm
you're
perfect,
not.
Mom? Right, Mom? Right, Mom?
Yes, dear.
Yeah. She had to take another sip of wine
Mom,
before
tell
she
her.
answered that one.
You told him, Mom.
I don't want to monopolize your show.
No, but
I love that you're
I love
here.
when
This
she's
is the
on.
best that you're on, and we're loving it.
No,
Do
I like
not.
it too because you're the devil's advocate I always try to be, but sometimes I just say it wrong.
Well, you say it wrong, and then you have that in common with your brother. When you try to make a point and you think nobody's understanding you, your voice gets higher.
Thank you, Mom.
And
You know what though? I think that's all men because we think it's going to win the argument the louder we get.
well,
It's
yeah,
right. We learn
it's
this
like
way.
talking to a deaf person. You think if you talk louder that they're going to hear you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But
Again,
it
no, but
usually doesn't
my
work.
heart was in the right place
We
with
get
it.
it,
With
and that's
it.
why I love you, because we can have these
Well,
conversations. There's no anger here.
And like my mother used to tell me, if you want your children to listen to you, stop yelling and start whispering. Because when you're whispering, they actually shut up and want to hear what you're saying.
Yep.
That's good advice.
That's straight
Of course, I never
knowledge
listened,
from
but I was a screamer.
from
Straight out
Nana
of Compton.
right there. Ma,
Straight out of
we're gonna
Compton.
let you go because
Up and knowledge on
we're
you.
almost at the time limit here.
All right,
Ma, I love
goodbye,
you.
I'm
Thank
sorry.
you.
Love you.
No, this was great. Honestly,
really
yeah, this was
appreciate
great
it.
radio, Ma. You did a great job. Love you.
Okay, bye.
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 That was my mommy.
Oh my God, that's the mom. And let me tell you guys something. And this is honestly, anybody could back me up here. I am very, very close with my mother-in-law. I don't even consider her. She's like my mom, and I love that
Confirmed.
woman. She's an amazing woman, and I will always respect her. So I'm glad you called in. We had that conversation. Now I want to talk about something else. Every week, Ma, you might want to shut the show off now. Every week we discuss what has Rocky said this week that was
Oh, my
amazing.
favorite segment.
This is the
This is
best.
my
These
favorite
were good ones.
segment.
These were good ones
These
this week.
actually, these two that I
Both
have,
from today.
Oh my God.
These two that I have, the one was from today.
Both
I think
with
that
your
I-
brother.
Well, I have one with my brother, but I have one that you said.
Oh, you didn't play both with your brother?
I only have one with my
Oh, no,
brother.
we have to
You
do
bring
both.
the other one.
All
but-
right, all right.
All right. So the other day, now everybody loves confidence. Everybody loves to feel sexy. They really do. But he has a way sometimes of saying things, and I go,
Shut it off, Ma, if you're listening.
that really did not do it for me. So I'm cleaning, and I'm like, everybody knows me. I'm a clean freak. I will vacuum them up every day. You can eat off my floors. I love having a clean house. So I'm bending over and I'm cleaning, and I'm kind of like leaned up against kind of the cabinet, and he comes close enough to where he's pressed against me, but not hurting me. Like I'm not pushed into the cabinet. And he says to me, "When you bend over, it makes my pee-pee want to rub on you."
Oh my God.
And I said, "Excuse me?" And he goes, "My pee-pee, it wants to rub on you every time you bend over." And I looked at my husband and I go, "The kids are in the other room. Go the fuck away while I'm cleaning." But so that was the first amazing Rocky comment. And the second one is my husband has this thing where he says things and he'll be funny, but like I don't think it's funny, but maybe for a second I chuckle and he'll go, "You see what I did there?" And I go, "Oh my God, that makes it even funnier that he says that." So him and my brother are going back and forth on Instagram, and if you know my brother, he's fucking. Both my brothers are hysterical, and he wrote to him. Mark posted a picture of himself, and he was like, "That's a beautiful scene. You should take a poop in the lake and mark your territory.
Oh my
Now
God.
my brother's name is Mark. So he goes, mark your territory. You see what I did there, Jess?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, that is funny to like people. Like I look at him, I'm like, really, Rocky? You know, you just sometimes I wrote to my brother, I'm like, that's disgusting. Okay?
And then I gotta pull it up, but he had another pick because
Of himself, of
not
course.
only is Mark the sexiest man alive, but
He is very sexy.
he's very
My
fun.
brother's a handsome dude.
He is. He looks like Scott Eastwood, Clint Eastwood's son, but just jacked.
Yeah,
The
like
dude is
Yeah,
but
jacked
he
the
kinda
fuck
does.
up. He does. He looks a
Yeah.
lot
like
like
Hugh
him.
Jackman, but like Wolverine. Like he looks like that. Like
Yeah.
the muscle and shit, all grass fed.
Super jacked up. But so he had a picture of him shirtless, chilling on a bench. So of course I write, "Killer nips, bro." And
Nipples out.
so he responds with, "LOL, they're special nips." So this is where I like to have my fun with my brother-in-laws, and I go, "Must run in the family because your sister's nips are really special also."
Oh
and
my
now I got you thinking about your
God.
sister's nips.
I completely was like, Rocky, like this is my little brother. Like you got to tell him about my special nips
Well, and-
because he's completely going. My brother's going, ew, right now. I hear him going, what the fuck?
I love doing that to those two guys, though. I do it all the time. I do it to Robert. I do it to Mark all the time. I'm like, now I got you thinking of your sister having sex.
You know, he's just a dick like that. So,
But I'm glad I have a relationship with both of them that I can joke with them that way.
Because of course it's a joke, and my brothers know he's not disrespectful like that.
Joey wrote,
He's
not
so
right.
funny.
He's not that kind of person, but the whole bend over makes my pee-pee want to rub
Oh
on
my
you
God.
and be telling my brother.
I never
to mark.
say that like seriously, though. It's always in
He
joking.
pushed it, and the face he gives you is like this. He kind of looks and goes, like he like looks down
Yeah,
and
because, when-
down and up like this. He's like,
I like a
want
dry delivery,
to rub
you
my
know?
pee-pee on you, and I was like, you can rub my pee-pee on what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like when you bend over, I want to rub my pee-pee on you. I just can't get the vision of.
See, when I do things with her, I like to keep it very straight-faced, so she
He's the
can't tell if I'm
worst.
joking or not.
It
But
is.
typically, 10 out of 10 times, I am joking. But I always like to give her that look of like, nope, I'm dead serious
He will
about this
straight
right
up,
now.
He will straight up
That's
anchor man me
awesome.
and go whammy and like grab me like this. He'll walk up and grab my boob and go.
Or when she's in the
whammy. And
bathroom
I'm
getting
like,
ready, I go, I'm just trying to get by, and I'll rub my, against
my
the
back?
butt. And I'm like, you're in my way. I'm just trying to get by. I'm just trying to get by
Whammy.
and take a little extra time getting past.
He's, fresh like that. But it's funny to me because I go, I don't know how many people have relationships like this. We have been together 7 years, and it's solid, just ridiculous. Like
Joey wrote that line, never worked for me.
well, it works for him every time. I mean, last week, I don't know if I told you, but he coerced me mid-kitchen. Kids all home, daylight, fucking 3 in the afternoon on a Sunday, convinces me to come in the bathroom.
Oh, you were telling me
And
about that.
he bends me, please, come on, let's play with it. He pulls it
Not
out.
beg.
He begged.
Persuaded.
Looked at me, baby. Come
There was
on,
no begging.
Baby.
There was
Yeah, he
persuading.
begged.
I
Baby,
feel like
please,
we did talk
We
about
did.
it.
right?
We did
Yeah.
all this.
Because you
Gets
guys
me
are
in
saying
there.
the
He
same
gets it
thing.
every
No
time.
begging.
So again, not begging, persuasion.
Yeah,
I
begged.
persuaded her.
He said, please, baby, please. That's begging.
I did not say please not once.
Please, baby.
Not
He goes,
once.
put it in your mouth. For a
I have
second.
never once said please
Touch
to
it.
her when
Just
it
touch
comes
it.
to anything regarding sexual activity. Never
You-
once.
What?
During sex is different because it's dirty talk. It's part of dirty talk, though.
What?
That's different.
No
I'm
pleasing?
talking into getting into the act of. There's no
you don't
begging.
ask me, like, seriously beg me, like, please. You play
Yeah.
with me, like, baby, come on, please. Yes, you do.
Yeah,
you don't
but
seriously
I
beg.
just no, I know, but some people might take it that way, so I'm
Oh, no,
clarifying.
well, you know what? Nobody's trying to size up their penis.
No,
right
but
now,
we have
okay?
stalkers that like to twist things. You know what I
We're
mean?
just talking in general, people. Please don't try to twist things. This is the way that it is. We went a lot further than I was expecting, and I had so many more things to come up with. But I'm not gonna go further. I have my niece is sleeping over and auntie time. But I really enjoyed a lot of the conversations tonight. If anybody has anything to add, about the show or things you found out, please comment below. You can go to my Twitter, JRABBIT55. You can go to Rocky's Instagram, RockySus, ROCKYSUS. And you go to Richie, of course, Super Ugly Show. He's on Twitter as well. We don't see him often, But
Talking in bed is my ace in the hole. Joey, see, we sit in bed and we giggle like two fucking idiots.
I've peed myself quite a few times laughing hard.
Obviously the other good stuff
laughing.
goes on, but when I get in bed for some reason I get really silly.
We
I don't
do
know if it's
giggle.
because I'm really tired or it's just, it's finally like our alone private time, so I like feel like a kid in the candy store like, hey, let's have fun. But we will sit there and laugh. I mean, gut-wrenching,
Laugh
tears
hard.
streaming down our face laughing in bed. And it's usually the biggest laughs I get in life at this point is sitting in bed with my wife
I
and
love you.
and just being two idiots in there.
We are idiots, and we do say some funny shit. Don't worry, I tell Nicole everything the next day.
Yeah.
She's on top of it. But no, again, so yes, please do not forget, check out Opie Radio. He's one of my favorites because he always tweets me out, and I know he like secretly loves me, him and Carl, but they won't hang out with me because they think I'm too dangerous for their career. I get it, but fuck you both. You love me anyway.
Kay's husband, you get player of the night.
Who's that?
Kay's husband, because she wrote, just had surgery recently, and this ass says to me, I know what the doctor said, but what's the dentist say?
Oh, my God. You know what?
MVP of the night goes to Kay's husband.
I can't. Oh my fucking God. No, I'm not doing that. So back to what I was saying. So of course I love my amazing co-host Rocky, my very best friend Nicole, and I love everybody. This is a great show. My mom called
Will
in.
you be my mom?
She
Say
be-
you're my
I'm
mom.
gonna say you're my mom, and you're gonna say yes. That's what happened when I met this woman, Ginger. She's fucking amazing.
My mom is a rock star.
And
She is. Your
you
mom's
know,
awesome.
my mom's not really around to talk on these podcasts. She's not really like social like
She's
that. But
got
she's fucking
stories
rocking
like a
cool, too.
motherfucker, I
we gotta
bet.
get her on one night to talk about
I
funny shit.
want bar stories from the 80s.
Yeah, she's fucking.
That's
hysterical.
it.
Yeah,
Give me bar stories from the
my mom's
80s,
owned the
Ma.
bar for a very long time, so she's got some pretty good stories. But maybe we'll get her on one time. Of course, don't forget to check out strengthandsparkle.com for all your makeup unique needs. If you ever like my stuff, it's what I wear. Go to Sweet Temptations by Nikki for any of your baking needs. Long Island, she's amazing baker and customized sizer and designer. And, Carl Ruiz, Joey Salvia. His music gets me going. I actually will listen to it. Rocky will come in during lunchtime. I'll be on in the house, and he looks at me and goes, Joey Salvia.
Yeah.
And he knows it. Joey Salvia.
Joey
I do.
wrote something in here too. I don't know if I said this before. He wrote, older women always come on to me, just saying. And obviously, Joey, I mean, I've seen you.
The lips on him.
But Joey,
You ever
isn't
seen
it,
Joey Salvia's lips?
isn't it a compliment? You know what I mean? Like, I understand girls having it a lot more often than guys. I get it. I totally get it. And when guys are aggressive and shitty about it, I'm totally with you. Like, fuck you, you're an asshole, and you make us look bad.
Right.
But when a guy's not a dick about it and he just goes, nice butt. You know? Like, you don't just go, all right, cool.
Even the way you said it looked weird.
Because
Don't
nice
say
butt
that.
sounded weird. I didn't want it to be
Nice
vulgar
butt.
because then it still comes across
He's
shitty.
like this, nice butt.
But all right, if Brad Pitt goes, you got a nice ass, baby, you're going to be like, hell yeah, I got a fucking nice
if
ass.
he's not a vampire, I won't take
Oh,
him.
hold on. But I'm using him in generals. Maybe he's not your cup of tea. Fill in Brad Pitt with whoever it is. Okay? But if, let's say, Jack Black says it, you're going to be like, gross. Why
Jack
would you
Black,
say that?
He's fucking hysterical. I might giggle with him.
But you get what I'm saying. It
Where
depends
are
on
we going right
it
now?
depends on who's saying it and who's doing it. I think
I
also.
don't know why we got back in this.
All right. No, I just wanted to make a little point.
Everybody, just so you know that this is about
Yes, it is a lift. Joey said.
50% of our relationship is like this, and if you can't handle it, then this is not the show for you. We love it. We're into it. We talk about everything. This is life. This is what the fuck we do. Come check us out every Tuesday at 9 p.m. We will have callers. We will have braless nights. We'll talk about pasties, fucking dick stories, whatever. Planets.
Dick
I want to know
stories.
about it. Yeah, dick stories. You know, we talk about the fucking sex shop. This is life. This is what we do.
Even you'd be happy with Brad saying Jess has an. Of course I would. If Brad Pitt's complimenting my wife, that is a huge compliment.
I think we should send a picture and get the compliment because I have
Yeah.
a pretty nice ass, might I add.
I've been totally on board.
I'm
with
proud.
you know.
I got the dimples and all. Anyway, guys, we love you and thank you so much for hanging out. Share it out. See you next week. We're the fucking bomb. This is life. I'm Jess. See you next Tuesday.